many times am I gonna have to hit enter? Too many. Hi. I haven't streamed in 5 ever. I know. But I'm back doing Assassin's Creed Unity. I tried to stream A Plague Tale, but for some reason it would not let me on my Xbox. I do not know what is going on there. Oh right. I turned that on. 1 second, I gotta go grab my phone. No, Pedro, no! That is not something you get to chew. No! Leave this alone. Naughty dog. My pupper decided to try and eat my jacket. You know, in the way that she obviously wants to. Authenticator. Okay, so... Which I don't know if you could actually see any of that. No, probably not. Cool. Ugh. Okay, so... Continue. Should be the correct code. Hopefully it didn't change by the time I decided to hit the continue button. Yay! For its 6 invitational is heading to south. I don't care about that. Anyways, I'm going to be playing some more Odyssey. I've had a lot of kind of just thoughts and things and way too much stuff on my hand to be able to play and stream. So I've been focusing on more games that I don't stream for health reasons. Let's put it at that. So obviously I need to turn the volume down on there. Obviously things have been kind of going awry, so I haven't streamed very well. Padra, out! Out of the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen. You know better. You know better. I've also not been feeling the greatest. I've had a lot of headaches. So this is gonna, again, primarily be not commentary. I'll pop in with commentary as I want to, and I'll read things aloud as I want to, but I'll mostly be focusing on the game here. And kind of trying to get through this story so I can go to the next game, and the next game, and the next game. So we'll see how this goes. Alright. It's that. No, it's not that. It is that. Ha ta 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 ta. I'm remembering what my keys are. Webcam is currently hooked up for the moment because, I actually don't know why I turned that on. There we go. Now it should be gone. You know, if I can remember things. Da 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 da. My dog is trying to eat things she's not supposed to. While this is loading, I had a lot of thoughts about story and how stories function, especially in games. And how games have moved from linear storytelling, and people ceased to find linear storytelling compelling enough, and moved into more of a non-linear open world style to just let people run as crazy as they want and as willy-nilly as they want, and how that's in a lot of ways detracted. Detracted a lot of information from the games, which is kind of sad in retrospect, because there's a lot of these games that are open world have very interesting stories, Assassin's Creed being one of them. But because of the way that they're running open world, it's led to sort of non-linear storytelling and not knowing how to do non-linear storytelling properly. Because there is a way to do it where it functions and it works. You can do non-linear storytelling and still get entire enjoyment out of it and still understand the story. You don't have to do things in a linear way and following a set path. However, Padra, no, because of the way they handle these things, it's not really something that is well done, the nonlinear storytelling, especially in games like Assassin's Creed, which is leading to difficulties in... Padra Tsuyul! Leave that cat alone. Leading to difficulties in getting the story across and mitigating enjoyment, which is not... Padra Tsuyul, leave him alone. No, come here. Come here. This is what I have to deal with on a daily basis. She's feeling better, at least. She's been sick. So, there's a reason why I'm upset with the latter Assassin's Creed games, because they did a decent job with the originals. With Desmond and Altair and Ezio and Connor. It was very linear what you did, because you did it in order. Padra, and then they had collectibles, and it felt like it was an open world because you could technically do a couple things out of order. Not any of the quest lines necessarily out of order, but you could do other things out of order, and it worked really well. Unfortunately, and this is the unfortunate part of it, anything beyond Black Flag lost kind of... Padra! Not get out of the kitchen. Black Flag did open world storytelling very well. It was linear, and it was still linear. There was still things you can do. Like, there's still facets of these that are very linear storytelling. Up until, like, Odyssey and a couple others that have you do quest lines that are story related. But they're also just more like side quests and not things you absolutely have to do to get all of the content you need. The thing with nonlinear storytelling, a proper nonlinear story has side quests and things, obviously, that you can do to, and of course I can't fast travel right now, okay. Side quests and things that you can do to enhance the story. But the main story as well, it comes off in a non-linear fashion. You can do it in any order and still get the whole story, and it doesn't upset the gameplay. A game that does this really well is obviously Breath of the Wild. You can do Breath of the Wild in any order, in whatever fashion you want, and it doesn't cause issues with gameplay, or in getting the story across. It's a really good non-linear story open world game. And the thing is, open worlds, if you're going to do an open world and you're going to do it right, it needs to have a non-linear story. Doing an open world with a linear story is just shoving a bunch of shit in people's faces and giving them way too many things to do to distract, and it ends up muddying the story as a whole, because it ends up not being... You end up not getting the story because you're too busy running around trying to collect things that ultimately are useless. All they're there for is as time wasters. And while time wasters are all well and good, especially if you need to pad out your game, they can be very useful in padding out time for game, as long as they're not boring or unfun, as long as they have a purpose to them. But the majority of the games these days, these side quests and things like that, actually don't really have a purpose, or if the purpose they have is it's minimal, and it's not helpful, and it doesn't give you the story it gives you isn't enough. I'm going to be quiet here for a minute.
Get him upstairs, quickly.
Latouche, old friend. You do get about, don't you?
So yeah, it's open world. To do open world properly requires nonlinear storytelling. The fact that most games these days shy away from it, like they don't touch nonlinear storytelling, or they try not to do nonlinear storytelling to the best of its ability, is really a detriment. Because it's something that could be done really well. Do I have a Phantom Blade? No, I don't. 1 second. Let's see, it's 1. There we go. It's basically a disappointment to me. Basically, I have a lot of thoughts about storytelling and how storytelling could be done better. Ah, shit. Whatever. And this is coming from the fact that I've played a very linear story recently. And it was a great story. Like, a great story. It was a phenomenal story. And it was 100% linear. I'm gonna lead you by the nose. Had its own everything, basically. It did really well. HF? Nope. What is it? Nope. I thought it was G. Q. It's Q. Control is crouch. There we go. I haven't played in a while. Is that not obvious? Okay, that's an alarm. Need to get closer. Padra, no, get off. Padra Tsil, get off. I'm gonna be quiet now because, yeah.
you're smart, you'll let it lie.
How much longer must we wait? I do have other business to tend to.
A little bit longer. Grand Master wants the Glucose thinned out before we begin.
I trust we'll finally learn the meaning behind our recent activities.
All will be made clear.
I don't like it. The plan is still too vulnerable. And let's not forget, Lafreniere is still out there somewhere, waiting to burn us all at the stake.
Tom, you haven't heard yet then?
But what?
Lafreniere is dead. Hours ago, in fact. Assassins.
That seems convenient.
That's the thing about assassins. Huh? Fight them at a Templar conspiracy and they ask no questions. Go right for the kill. Predictable that way. Come, we'll fetch the captain and get started.
Come on, speaker. I need an answer, friend. here's the thing. I can go on like this all day. But you've got an hour left in you, 2 at the most, half if I bring out the sharp ones. So why not skip the end game and go directly to me? Tell me where it is, and all this can be over. What was that? You're a smart man.
Roy, clean up your mess. It's time.
Be right there. You heard the weasel, boys?
Shouldn't have played in games that didn't concern you.
Did you really throw him out the window?
Trash belongs in the gutter.
Sloppy. Someone might have seen.
Who? My boys are watching the whole place. They'll deal with any good Samaritans.
They better. The Grandmaster won't be happy if the whole plan comes unraveled because of one dead peon.
You were right. King Louis's been talking to all sorts he shouldn't have. Plotted against the revolution out of one side of his mouth while he promises to support the Constitution out the other.
The great work requires patience, my friend. If Paris must suffer a while longer so the world might be remade, then so be it.
Why not just kill him and be done with it? One of my boys, a knife, a dark hallway. Easy peasy.
We want a condemned man, Captain, not a martyr. Have patience.
Respectfully, Grandmaster, patience is well and fine. But the longer we wait, the greater the chance of discovery.
Well, the assassins already found Siver and Wadetun.
Oh, Sivert and Leroy already served their purpose. Their destruction, while inconvenient, is no obstacle. And the assassins have already proved useful when properly led.
What about the Delasser brat? She could be dangerous if she manages to rally the old guard.
That situation will be resolved.
How so?
Mademoiselle de la Serre will soon be on her way to l'Hôtel Voisin, eager to speak with Monsieur Lafreniere. Sadly, Monsieur Lafreniere has nothing left to say.
Please.
Clever, Grandmaster. But you've had your brush with the assassins as well. Respectfully, you won't always be so lucky.
Quite right. I shall leave the execution of our work to you, ladies and gentlemen. For my part, I shall retire to the sanctuary and await the final fate. Will that satisfy you, Captain?
I'll see the watch triple.
Very well. May the Father of Understanding guide you.
Understanding guide us.
Go on, we'll lock up down here and go for a pint.
I'll take it.
Where was it? L'Hôtel Voisin? Merde.
Je n'avais jamais vu ça. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Later!
Lock when he can't see.
What's going on? Where is Monsieur Lafreniere?
He's dead.
What?
Go! I'll explain later!
Get her! Cut them off! Kill her!
No way past this one.
Shall we?
Let's
Part of the purge! Come on, one! All traitors liquidated! Work round the Pillock side!
What's wrong?
I'm not sure how to tell you.
I'll climb up and take a look.
How do we get out of here?
Don't let him get away!
Just admit it. You're lost. Just admit it. You're lost.
Where you... You bloody mards don't deserve that! Got you! I don't...
Just admit it. You're lost.
Catch them!
Where do we go?
Two of them up ahead.
You take that one. I'll handle his friend. What now?
Too many of them to sneak past. We'll have to work together. Take them out quietly.
I think that was all of them.
We're clear. There's a bigger group coming up though.
No. Désolé.
better angle from the roof.
I'll get you. Watch for a thing.
Looks like the last of them.
Let's get out of here.
They can't have gone far. Find them!
Go on. I'll distract them. Trust me. Meet me tomorrow at Café Théâtre. I'll explain everything.
You're mad. I'll be there.
I may be a little late.
So,
So,
seems you've been busy.
tracking down the man who killed your father, yes.
Best of luck. He's killed most of my allies and intimidated the rest into silence. No closer now than I was 2 years ago.
I've seen him.
What? When? Where can I find him?
I'm not sure that's a good idea. He wants you dead, Elise.
What? You want to protect me?
I want to help you. The Brotherhood has resources, manpower.
You cannot be serious. I don't trust the assassins.
Do you trust me? I haven't changed that much, Elise. I'm still the same boy who distracted the cook while you stole the jam. The same one who helped you over the wall into that dog-infested orchard.
All right. Take me to your Brotherhood. I'll hear their offer.
Offer may be a bit strong.
Is that?
Bloody Templar.
What's he doing?
Really?
They're a touch paranoid when it comes to security.
2 right turns, 73 steps, then down a flight of stairs, a left and another right. Did I get all that?
What the hell you done this time, pisspot?
The Templars have marked her for death.
So you brought her here?
The Brotherhood has resources, manpower.
Shut up!
Well, what have we here?
Friend, how are
My name is...
For heaven's sake, take that blindfold off. Ridiculous.
My name is Elise de la Serre. My father was François de la Serre, Grand Master of the Templar Order. I've come to ask for your help.
Continue.
Mirabeau.
Must we rehash this debate again?
We must, and we will, Master Kemar. If you cannot see the advantage in being owed a favor by Francois de la Serre's daughter, I despair for our future. Continue, Mademoiselle de la Serre.
Oh, here we go.
You are not men with whom I would normally parley, monsieur. But my father is dead, as are my allies within the Order. If I must turn to the assassins for my revenge, so be it.
Parlay my arse! It's a trick! To make us lower our guard! I say we kill her, send her head back as a warning.
Belek. Enough! Plainly, this discussion is better conducted in private. If you will excuse us, Mademoiselle de la Serre.
Certainly.
Arno, perhaps you should accompany her. I am sure you two have much to talk about.
Everything all right, my friend?
That went about as well as I expected.
Give it time. Mirabeau will talk them around.
Do you really think we'll find him? After all this time?
His luck can't last forever. François Germain believed Lafrenière was...
François Germain?
Yes?
Where is he?
His shop's on Rue Saint-Antoine. Why? What the... Elise? Wait for me!
Where are you going? Slow down!
What are you doing?
You're holding out on me. It's...
Quitte à nommer exécuteur.
Where are you going?
What was that about?
Honor. François Germain was my father's lieutenant.
What?
He was cast out of the order when I was a girl. Something about heretical notions or Jacques de Molay, I'm not entirely sure. But he should be dead. He died years ago.
Did anyone tell him that?
I would very much like to ask him a few questions.
So would I.
Empty.
Upstairs. That's where his workshop was.
Let's go.
It might not even be the same Germain.
Tall, grey hair, eyes two different colors.
All right, perhaps it is the same Germain. Looks like no one's home. Please.
Don't tell me. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Bloody royalist!
Well, that was bracing.
Just like that time in Marseille.
Bit more blood this time around.
There's nothing here.
He must have known his bluff wouldn't hold up.
So we've lost him again.
Maybe not. Let's keep looking. Locked. Maybe we could do that. Well, now I know why this wasn't on the official tour.
Oh no. Look. It's him. The bastard killed my father.
We have to tell Mirabeau as soon as... I'll take care of this. Meet me at Mirabeau's estate. Stay down. Do you see them?
The window. Across the street. Watch out!
Initiate, this is Bishop. Do you copy? Good bloody work out there. You found him. Francois Thomas Germain, Grand Master of the Templars and a sage to boot. By our reckoning, that's the second sage to rise to the Templars' highest rank. A troubling trend. Until we know more about this Germain, stick with Arnaud. He might have outlived this Grand Master, and that could lead us to his body. Bishop out.
Hello. 1 second here. I'm trying to. There we go. Get it so that it showcases what I want it to. Hi. I know my game tends to be a bit quiet. That's in part, I think, an internal issue with my computer system. So, I'm not 100% sure. I tried to boost the volume as much as I could. I'm not sure if it was successful or not. We shall see, I guess. But anyways, hi, I'm primarily muted just because I don't have a lot to say.
Elise? Monsieur Mirabeau? Elise? Elise? What is this?
I found him like this. I didn't.
Of course not. But I have to report this to the council immediately. They'll know what to do.
No! They don't trust me as it is. I'll be the suspect, first and last.
You're right. Of course you're right.
What are we going to do?
We find out what happened.
What is that?
It's the weapon that killed your father.
That's a Templar badge of office.
What's it doing here?
Painting a picture.
Poison.
Let me see that. Aconite. Hard to detect unless you know what you're looking for.
Popular with Templars, is it?
With anyone who wants to get away with murder. But yes.
Looks like he was expecting a visitor.
Who?
Master Kemar.
Monsieur Dorian, what can I do for you?
Mirabeau is dead.
Dead?
Murdered.
I knew this truce would come to a bad end. I'll have to summon the rest of the council to deal with this.
Elise had nothing to do with it. I'll stake my life on that fact. Please, give me a little more time. I'll find the killer.
Very well. You have until tomorrow morning. No later.
Mirabeau was poisoned with aconite.
Poison? Do I need to point out that that particular strain is a favorite of the Templars?
You do not. Where might one acquire aconite in such strong concentrations?
Any doctor could prescribe it in diluted form. I myself take a tincture of aconite for my heart. It's strictly regulated, of course. But I do know of an apothecary in Lamare who's willing to overlook such petty legal matters.
Thank you.
Hello, my friend.
Troublemakers are. Gives you the right. Oh, well, that's it then.
Je parie qu'il va se rompre le compte, ma parole. Qu'est-ce qui est arrivé?
Thought you might need some help.
I think I can handle it.
Bonsoir. I wonder if you might answer.
Not again!
Well played.
Wait. Damn you, come back here. Slow down. Wait.
Don't hurt me!
I just have a few questions. Glad you get to join him. Slow down. Wait.
Got it!
I just have a few questions.
Explain yourself, citizen.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
continue, il va se rendre là.
La révolution sera
Please! I've never told anyone! I did just as you said!
What are you talking about?
You're with the other one, aren't you? The hooded man.
Tell me about this other one. Who is he?
I don't know. I never saw his face. Ah! He threatened to kill me if I didn't give him the poison. I didn't ask questions. I keep only a small quantity in stock. He took that straight away, but he told me where to drop off the second dose.
Second dose?
Here. That's all I know. I swear it.
Go on, then. Think of this as a wonderful story to frighten your grandchildren with.
Well?
You were right. He gave our mysterious killer the poison. And he said the killer wore a hood like mine.
Well, there are shades of grey in every good story.
If we've been betrayed from within...
That would explain why the killer tried to frame me.
Here. This is where the apothecary delivered his wares.
What are we waiting for?
So I'm actually going to be ending the stream here in just a couple minutes. I'm going to go into my database and look up a couple things, and then I'm going to fast travel some places. But, yeah. So, Mirabelle's appointment book. Last containing residue of Conite. Templar badge official. Pulling double duty. Oh yeah. I forgot about this case. In an effort to improve the manufacture of gunpowder needed by the revolutionary armor, the Academy of Sciences began a competition. Gaspard Monge is the favorite to win it. Colonel Froloy, jealous of his competitor Monge, reunites with an old army comrade, Sergeant St. Brie, who loads the solar cannon daily. Froloy has never realized that Monge's laboratory looks out over the Palais Royal gardens and has discerned that Monge has dangerously stored casks of water directly above his vials of elemental potassium. Froloy, as an ex-soldier, knows his ammunition, and he swaps a live round for the blank that St. Breeze normally use. He then limps to the solar cannon in the dead of night and aims it at his rival's laboratory window. When the cannon goes off, the live round will pierce the window, knock the water onto the potassium, and the resulting explosion will permanently disrupt Monge's experiments. However, Froloy did not anticipate an innocent passerby, Alexandre Louisac, arriving directly in front of the cannon for his noontime rendezvous. Alas, Alexandre was killed, and the projectile slowed by its journey throughout Alexandre's chest, failed to pierce Monge's window. Clever scheme foiled, and innocent man killed. And this is just a bunch of information. Okay. Anything else in here? Nope. Let's see, what have we got? General Francois Thomas Germain. Hello. Cutting in here at the beginning because this is big news, and not terribly often we get eyes on a Grand Master, even one who's been dead for a couple centuries, and a sage to boot. This has massive potential, and we're going to need to keep on him and find out what really happened to him. All the historical documentation I can find. Yeah. LeBlanc? No. All of the historical documentation I can find says he died in 1791, which, unless Arno invented time travel, means that the historical record is bollocks. Update. Well, I don't think we need to worry about the Templars finding his remains now. Templar 0, assassins the match. A silversmith, and son of a silversmith, Germain was one of the legends of his trade, but he was doomed to die in obscurity. After an ill-defined scandal, possibly involving a violation of guild laws, he lost his position as silversmith to the King of France and was kicked out of the accommodation in the Louvre. He employed dozens of workers in a workshop factory that produced thousands of pieces, many of which have since been lost, stolen, or melted down. If there's a kind of scandal I love, it's the ill-defined kind. I've got one. Makes a lovely paperweight. On an unrelated note, I think I'll get rid of this now. Jeez. Jacobin Club. The Society of Friends of the Constitution, or Jacobin Club, derived its name from the convent where its members gathered. One was the most powerful political clubs in France for much of the Revolution. With over 7,000 chapters at its height, its membership was estimated at nearly 500,000. The club was initially a gathering place for Breton deputies, but quickly expanded to allow anyone to, even civilians and foreign nationals, to join. Sounds pretty exclusive. Despite its later reputation for extremism, the Jacobin Club supported, at least nominally, the monarchy right up until the eve of the Republic. The club became radicalized in June of 1791, when many of its more moderate deputies left to form a new club, the Feuillants. The first thing I look for in a club is the ability to pronounce it. Feuillant equals fail, or it should be fiel. Fail? After the fall of the monarchy, Robespierre rose to prominence within the club, and with his backing and that of the Parisian mob, the Jacobins effectively seized control of the government. They so often make such convincing arguments, the mob, I find. The Jacobins' instituted a reign of terror, repeatedly purging the National Convention and the population at large of anyone deemed an enemy of the Republic. The Jacobins had held sway for nearly a year before Robespierre overplayed his hand and was himself arrested and executed for treason. Deprived of its leadership, the Jacobin Club was closed and outlawed in November 1794. Cool. Locations. What have we got? Bridges. Pont Royal. One of Paris's oldest bridges, the original Pont Royal was a toll bridge built in 1632 to replace a ferry. It was commonly called Pont Rouge due to its red color, not to be confused with the tiny Pont Rouge that linked the city's islands. Over the centuries, the bridge has undergone several name changes, as well as several partial and complete reconstructions due to flooding. Collège des Quatre Nations. Cardinal Mazarin, once a mere deacon with much to atone for, left 2 million livres, part of his fortune amassed while governing France for 18 years, to build this college, as well as an annuity to house 60 fellows selected from the 4 nations, namely the regions of Piedmont, Alsace, Flanders, and Artois. The college is one of its finest monuments in Paris. It houses the Institut de France and the superb Mazarin Library, with its 275,000 volumes, many of which were recovered from those who were guillotined or who emigrated, as well as from Louis XVI, labeled simply Louis Capet. It also offers stunning views of the river the Seine. In 1793, this high place of learning was transformed into a prison, since Paris was essentially a huge prison at the time. Its first detainees included painter Jacques-Louis David, even though he had portrayed Marat in his bath, Dr. Guillotin, advocate of the painless Republican death, and Madame de Tourzel, governess of the royal children. The chapel went on to become a sugar store reserved to a privileged few. Palais des Tuileries. Originally a separate palace, the Tuileries was united under the Louvre Palace by Henry IV. The original Tuileries was the result of a caprice of Catherine de' Medici, who found the Louvre too big, too cold, and too crowded. She turned her attentions to a former tile factory on the other side of the ditch, which she would transform into the palace of her dreams. Since the land was vacant, there was no one to expropriate. Posh person's word meaning forcibly turf out. Over the centuries, the Tuileries garden would become much like an amusement park, the highlight of which came when Jacques-Alexandre César Charles launched the world's first hydrogen-filled balloon there. 400,000 people filled the garden, embankments, roofs, and place Louis XV. The entry fee was 3 sous. 9 years later, the mood was decidedly less friendly to Louis XVI when he and his family had to take refuge in the Salle du Manège, having escaped a mob of insurgents who invaded the Tuileries on August 10, 1792, a revolutionary day that brought the monarchy's downfall. What was once Queen Catherine's Park had become the Republic's melting pot. I'm stumbling because I'm having some vocabulary issues. Okay, so events. Death of Mirabeau. On April 2nd, 1791, Honoré Gabriel Riquetti Mirabeau lay on his deathbed. The 42-year-old was exhausted from his excessive drinking and womanizing. Has anyone ever been so exhausted from womanizing that they had to go straight to their deathbed? I mean, that's actually quite impressive. I think I'd probably have been standing at the end of his bed as he went, applauding. Mirabeau had been a double agent since the Estates General of 1789. He received money from Louis XVI in return for his advisory services and to make sure that the revolution would never overthrow the monarchy. An impassioned speaker who was always willing to stand up to his enemies, his death caused a considerable amount of dismay in Paris. He was seen as a potential minister as well as a first-rate thinker. His ashes were later transferred to the Pantheon, and yet in 1792, when the iron chest was discovered at the Tuileries Palace containing correspondence between Louis XVI and, among others, Mirabeau, the latter was immediately discredited and removed from the Pantheon. Potassium-water reaction. Until the 18th century, no distinction had been made between potassium and sodium. Only with the experiments of Humphrey Davy, following from Lavoisier, was elemental potassium finally isolated. When combined with water, potassium forms potassium hydroxide, resulting in a violent, explosive reaction. Solar cannon of the Palais Royal, designed in 1786 by watchmaker and inventor Robert Rousseau, the solar cannon allowed strollers at the Palais Royal to adjust their timepieces. When the sun reached the meridian, a magnifying glass was arranged so that the sun's rays were directed to touch the hole of a small cannon. At noon precisely, it went off with a bang. A restored cannon works to this day. And then we have Frères Corona Armés, composed in 1789 for the formation of a Parisian National Guard. The revolutionaries took popular tune from the song Il plaît bergeret and added words intended to encourage men to join the Guard's ranks and defend the nation. I am butchering this like nobody's business and I know it. Letters from Elise.
Dear Arno, I confess I'm not entirely sure what to say here. It was good to see you again. Somehow rings hollow. An empty space unfit to contain the totality of my feelings. And yet I am pleased. Pleased that the assassins have not changed you completely. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You never were one to be easily awed. It seems we have both found ourselves at an impasse in the hunt for my father's killer. Perhaps together, we can accomplish what neither of us could alone. It's nice to think that after all this time, we're still better together than apart. Yours, Elise.
Okay. Just to verify, nothing else? Nope, nothing else. Okay. Alright, I need to travel to here. And then I'm gonna start the next plot and then end the stream because my head is starting to hurt again. And I don't want to deal with migraine right now. I've been dealing with that enough as it is. Before I get to that, however, okay. Come on. This is the direction I'm aiming for. Oh, come on. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself again.
Been placed. What do you hope to find here?
This is where the apothecary says he delivered the poison. I'm hoping I can pick up a trail and follow it back to the source.
Pick up a trail. Are you a bloodhound now?
Something like that.